what is up? It is Gamer123ST here. Today we're gonna be doing the Venus. Obviously, as you can see, we're on to part 3 with Venus in the series. I'm Gamer123ST, and this is Venus, the space series, part 3. And now we're gonna get started. So, Venus is the second closest planet to the sun and the hottest planet in the solar system because its temperatures rise up to 462 degrees Celsius. And now that's a lot because obviously they mentioned in this, I mentioned it's the hottest planet in the whole solar system because obviously we're close to the sun. It's going to be really hot with temperatures. That's one of the reasons. And also another thing to say and mention, it's 462 degrees Celsius. But unlike Mercury, it has an atmosphere. An atmosphere is something we can do to regulate temperatures. So a reason why Earth doesn't have many staggering temperatures like Mercury, like just as I told you in the last video, it had like 427 degrees Celsius in the morning or day, and then in the night there's minus 173 degrees. You're like, oh, okay, that's for every planet except Earth. Nah, there's some planets that have an atmosphere. Venus is one of them. And also another fact that I told you, Venus is one of the 2 planets that does not have a moon at all, just like Mercury. So, moving on, next fact. Unlike Venus, Venus has a bigger size. It's the 3rd smallest planet, but still, it's bigger because I told you Mercury was around 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers in diameter. This one is like a lot bigger. It's like 12,000 kilometers in diameter, just like somewhere around Earth, but we're saving that for the Earth video. And it's coming next. The Earth video is part 4, so stay tuned for that, guys. And let's go. I'm getting there. Venus is 108 kilometers away from the sun. That is really close, which makes it Earth's closest neighbor at 42 million kilometers away from Earth, which means it's almost an AU. Did you forget what an AU is? No, probably not. An AU is an astronomical unit, which is 150 million kilometers, because the AU is an astronomical unit, and I told you in the last video. So let's get on. 225 Earth days equals to a year on Venus. And Venus is not as fast as Mercury. Remember, I told you about the fastness of Mercury, 170,000 kilometers. Venus ain't happy as that, but it's 126,077 kilometers per hour, so it'd be pretty happy still. And Venus is also one of those planets that doesn't have a moon. I already mentioned it. And so don't just say it has a moon, because going on from Earth, every planet we see has a moon. And there's also a very surprising fact about Venus. I got shocked to know about it. So here it is. 1 day on Venus is equal to more than a year on Venus. Yes, we're like, okay, a year on Earth is like 365 times bigger than a year, and a day on Earth. But here, as you can see, 1 year on Venus is 225 Earth days, as I mentioned, and 1 day on Venus is equal to 243 Earth days. Solar, sidereal, does it even matter? Well, yeah, you'd probably think it matters because I told you in the Mercury video, but it doesn't matter anymore because Venus is also one of that kind of Earth twin thing. It's called the Earth sister planet. So like they're kind of brothers and sisters. So Venus used to have like there's Earth living kind of things and stuff. So, just basically, Venus and Earth were those rocks that had living on it. I mean, I'm not saying that Venus had life, but I'm saying that it was habitable. Venus was once habitable until it got chaotic, and then some kind of asteroid hits it, and it makes a big, chaos, and then it gets super hot because the atmosphere got damaged. But it's still not that damaged, but just move on to the next photo. This is how Venus looks now. It's crazy. It's orange and hot and filling with acid. It rains acid in Venus. So don't even think that Venus is not gonna be not safe. It's not gonna be safe because it's not gonna be safe. It's not gonna be safe because there's acid everywhere. Because just like if you went in a rainy season to a rainforest, there'd be rain everywhere. Just like this, but just the difference is, no matter when you went, there'd be acid everywhere because it would be acid rain. Because rain, it's rain, it's water. It's gonna rainfall there, and it's gonna bring even more in the rainy season. But they have rainy season year round down there in Venus. And speaking of Uranus, Venus rotates in the opposite direction of all the other planets, rotating counterclockwise. But Venus, along with Uranus, both rotate clockwise. Venus is the closest planet to Earth, I already told you, but it rotates clockwise, which means Uranus. Okay, I'm gonna say that for the Uranus video, but Venus rotates clockwise. So if it rotates clockwise, Uranus and every other planet rotate clockwise, but Venus rotates counterclockwise. That's what I'm saying. So if Venus doesn't rotate it rotates counterclockwise. That's why Venus is not rotating counterclockwise. And drop a like for everything there. And one more thing, go subscribe so go subscribe. And also Venus is orange because of its heat and the acid. Because there's acid rain there, it's kind of orange. It got orange and mixed up kind of thing. And then it got really messed up because if you don't know, every single planet, not every single planet, but most planets, they were not that safe. And as you can see, it's in the stars because there's many stars in the sky it's the second planet from the sun. It's named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. And it's one thing really famous because it's named after love and beauty. And it's the second brightest natural object in the sky. And Venus is also sometimes referred to as the morning star and the evening star. Yep. And Venus is also sometimes called Earth's sister planet, I already told you. And the length of a sidereal day is gonna be 116 days. Yeah, well, I told you earlier in the video, what are you talking? The sidereal day ain't long. But now I'm mentioning the sidereal day is really, really long. So basically, the sidereal day, it's short because, the solar day would be really big because on Venus axis, as you can see, it's a weird planet. It rotates counterclockwise. So its axis is going to be somewhat messed up. Yes, its axis is really messed up, and that's why its axis is way more different to the time. Just like Mercury, but Mercury's axis is not messed up. That's why they're really kind of different. And I don't know if you understand this, but let's just tell you the math. 4.867 times 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. Okay, yeah. Well, I kind of understood that. It's to the power, somewhere around times. That's too much mathified stuff. But I would say it's pretty complicated. And let's just say, is Venus the best planet? For starters, its surface temperature is 900 degrees Fahrenheit. making Venus the hottest planet on the solar system. And a thick shroud of carbon dioxide presses down of Earth's atmosphere on a bone-dry landscape. 92 times the pressure. 92 times the pressure. So it's going to be really pressurized. It's not good to live in. And that's what I'm saying. If you want to live in Venus, boy, it ain't going to be good. And can you live on Venus? No. Venus would not be a pleasant place to live in the solar system. The planet's active volcanoes' runaway greenhouse effect would make it a difficult place to survive between its desiccated red-orange landscape. And the surface temperature is hot enough to melt lead. And lead is really strong, and we would need a lot of stuff to melt lead. And our Venus solar system is analog to hell. Okay, yeah, so these are many facts about Venus. It's still a mystery, because if somebody says if there's some subject that's an ocean, it's gonna be space, because we're in it. None other thing is what we're in, because we're in Earth, and what is Earth in? Space. There's no other thing that Earth is not in, because there's only one thing out of Earth. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're gonna go in any other subject, it's gonna be like, no. And I just realized that in my solar system video of my first video, I didn't even mention and tell you all about the asteroid coming to Earth. Now, it's estimated to hit Earth at April 29th, 2020. So if you're watching that, after April 29th, I'm so happy, guys, we survived it. But yeah, NASA is putting a laser there to stop it, and it's gonna be legit really epic, because it's getting a laser and it's kind of not stopping it. It's like the laser ain't that strong enough to break an asteroid into pieces, but you know those sci-fi movies, sci-fi movies, they just try and get a laser, they try to deflect the asteroid so they save Earth. And then there's so many movies, and there's other movies where they have space vehicles and they're going through the asteroid belt. And the asteroid belt, I'm gonna tell you about the asteroid belt since we're pretty close. After 2 episodes, we're gonna go there anyway. The asteroid belt is not as meteoritic or asteroidic or cometic, or if you don't know what I mean, it's just so many asteroids and comets and meteors. No, it's not like that. It's pleasant. I mean, yeah, once in a while there's gonna be a comet or asteroid heading towards your ship, but you got a ship, you can dodge it. Not like Earth that stays in one place. So I'm saying, if there's gonna be a way that an asteroid's gonna hit your spaceship, it's not gonna be easy. Because why is the fact that it's Venus, I'm talking about Venus, the asteroid belt in the movies, our minds so convinced that in those movies there's just so many asteroids, and then your spaceship's in the middle and they're just going through and there's a million asteroids. But in reality, no. There's gonna be 2 or 3 asteroids every once in everywhere, but in reality, not that many asteroids are gonna go heading for your ship, going and doing a rendezvous attack on your ship. It's not gonna happen. And of course, many of you guys are not destined to go there and see the asteroid belt. None of humanity has not done it yet. But the point is, and Venus, if you're on Venus, there's many stars there for some reason. I don't know if it's more than Earth or so, but there's so many stars in Venus, people get mesmerized, because that's how many stars there are on Venus. Not on Venus, in the Venus night sky. So if you're gonna look in the Venus night sky, it's just so mesmerizing to look at all those stars. And yeah, that's it for today's video. So don't forget to drop a like on that video. Don't forget to share with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Gamer123ST. And one more thing. I already told you guys this, but so our next video will be our topic on Earth. Well, you guys probably know a lot about Earth, but I'm waiting to tell you a lot more about Earth. So stay tuned for that. And just signing off. Go like the video. Go share it with all your friends. Go comment down below how you feel about this video. And go subscribe to Game